It's been about a month since we've checked in on the Phoenix Suns, and they went from a team that was struggling to be 500 to now widening the gap from 500 to possibly contenders. But how did this happen? They didn't make any significant moves. It's basically the same team they've had. Well, there's a lot to talk about, and I think what we first need to do is kind of talk about the last video I made about this team. In my last video about the Phoenix Suns, I had only negative things to say, and I made a lot of points that I feel like some of them still stand, but I think the dynamic is starting to change. Now, one of the points I made about the Suns is that they needed a true point guard, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm still gonna stand on that statement. While Devin Booker has been playing solid as a point guard for the Suns, I mean statistically he's been consistent with his scoring and his assist numbers have only gone up. I watch the games and I'm like, Booker's not a point guard. And I don't mean it to disrespect Booker, but Booker is a shooting guard. He's a two guard. What Booker does is he is meant to score the basketball and cook the hell out of your defense. And I think KG said it best, but Booker's not meant to come down and try to drop plays and create offense. No, Booker is the offense. The point guard gets the ball to Booker and Booker just goes to work. I mean, genuinely, if Devin Booker was given the opportunity, this man could be a 30 points per game scorer, no question in my mind. And this is with Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal on the roster. So then you say, oh, let Bradley Beal be the point guard. No, because Beal's never been the point guard of any team that he's been on, at least not a good team, I can tell you that. Also, no, because he's not a traditional point guard. We're straying away from the main conversation. I'm not saying they got to get a fucking superstar point guard. And I know Kyle Lowry was a talk for a while, but then it was figured out that can't even happen due to cap space stuff. But if the Phoenix Suns before the trade deadline would deadass trade for like a backup point guard, and I'm not even joking, like campaign or something, I could probably end up sleeping at night. Obviously they wouldn't start, but it would just be nice to have one on the team that they could work into certain lineups. And do not take that out of context. I'm not saying campaign's the reason we're gonna win the finals or even be a good team. But what I'm trying to say is that a guy like John Wall, I would not be against getting John Wall, just saying. I'm sure the price for him would be absolutely cheap, and having him and Beal reunite and having, you know, that story, that'd be fucking dope. I've always loved John Wall. But regardless of them not having a true point guard, the Suns have dominated and their offense is now in the top 10, something we haven't seen in a while. And I know this team was supposed to be a top 5 offensive team, but now they're only reaching the top 10. But the thing is, now they're starting to figure it out. And something else that they figured out is their big three. The Suns' big three of Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant was a very interesting choice in my opinion. You put together 3 scorers, 3 of the best scorers in the game, but 3 scorers nevertheless. And you wanted them to play ISO heavy ball. And sure, in the regular season, it's probably going to work, but I can't promise you in the postseason you're going to succeed. However, it seems like as the season has gone on and as they've actually started to play with each other, because everyone has been getting injured every other couple games, they're starting to look good together. The whole dynamic of having a big 3 of scorers is that you don't know who's going to go off. Technically, in our head, we know who the best player on this team is. But look, it doesn't matter. Whoever you think is the best player on this team, it doesn't matter on some nights. The Suns are set up in a way where anyone on the big 3 could go off at any given night, and that's what I love. I mean, what Kevin Durant has done in these past 2 games is fucking absurd, and I think it's honestly because he's pissed off right now. But Devin Booker, that man had 52 the other night in a blowout versus the Pelicans. And I mention that because I know we just saw Embiid drop 70, but if Booker played in the 4th quarter like he should have, even though we were blowing them out, he literally could have scored 60 or 70. I'm not even joking. Like, this man was on a completely different level. And I know, like, you don't want him to get injured and stuff like that. You take him out. It was the smart thing to do. But I don't know. There's a part of me that was like, nah, bro, let him go for 60. Let him go for 70, man. But yeah, I guess Devin Booker is not an all-star, even though he had 52 points in 3 quarters. Literally suck my dick. So this video was supposed to go live on Wednesday. However, I decided to postpone it just one more day because I wanted to see the Suns and Mavericks game. And holy shit, yeah, I'm absolutely right with what I'm saying. By the way, Booker getting his get back with a light little 46. That's what I love to see, man. But like I said, I guess Devin Booker is not an all-star, which I'm sorry. Can we talk about that for a second? I know people wanted me to make a dedicated video about Booker not being really selected to be an all-star and the fan vote being atrocious. But number one, I don't feel like that really deserved a dedicated video. And then someone in the comment section was like, oh, why don't you make a video something along the lines of why he gets all this hate? And then I'm like, damn, you're not a real fan of the channel because I've already made made that video months ago. But look, I'm not gonna hold you too much. I know some people are new to the channel, and honestly, that's fine. But look, moving past that, Devin Booker is 100% an all-star, and I don't know why people are not choosing him. It's probably because people don't like him because they think he's cocky, and overall, they just think he's a prick. Me personally, I think it's kind of bullshit to judge the all-star game based on just if you like someone or not. Like, with all due respect, I fucking hate Joel Embiid, but Joel Embiid is definitely an all-star. Matter of fact, he's an all-star starter. LeBron is one of the most hated players in the NBA, yet he is one of the top vote getters every single year. I feel like it should be based on skill. I mean, I'm pretty sure Austin Reeves at one point had a lead over Devin Booker, which is like, all right, what the fuck are we doing? Let's be serious. Now, I actually want to transition into another topic that is very important about this team. But first, boys, I'm not going to waste y'all time. If you guys are enjoying the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So if you guys did not know, a couple hours before this video went live, I dropped a video on the second channel, kind of talk about what's going on. It's honestly kind of a serious video, I'd say. It's not something I've ever really put out before, and I was very open, very vulnerable, if you will. So if you want to check it out, you can see why I haven't been uploading, but just know the goal is to start consistently uploading every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I know I haven't been the best in January, but honestly, I'm kind of sick and tired of just not uploading. So we're getting this shit done now. Anyways, that's really all I had to say. So let's get back to the video. There are some players that the media or people in general are not going to talk about when it comes to the Phoenix Suns, and one of those players is Grayson Allen. I'm not gonna lie, Grayson Allen was a pickup that I was kind of nervous about. For one, I didn't know if he was gonna be a dirty player and if we were gonna have like a Draymond situation on our hands, but also I knew in Milwaukee he had some bad moments. Grayson Allen, for one, is having a career year averaging about 13 points per game, but statistically his shooting has been pretty solid. Currently, at the time recording this video, he is a 50, 49, 90 shooter. So if the season were to end today, he'd be damn near a 50, 50, 90 shooter. That's not really something we see that often. I think Grayson Allen is the perfect small forward to be on this team right now. I know there's been some rumors that the Suns want to go after Miles Bridges, but I love the way Grayson Allen's been playing. Statistically, I think Bridges would be an upgrade, but I'm not sure that's a move I necessarily want to make for obvious reasons. Another player that I was absolutely right about was Jusuf Nurkic. I remember the Jusuf Nurkic and DeAndre Ayton trade was honestly something that a lot of people had mixed reactions about. In fact, some people were trying to tell me that, oh, Ayton, when he leaves Phoenix, he's gonna go to Portland, he's gonna go off. Man, where the fuck has he been? This man missed a game because he couldn't leave his house. With all due respect, this man is a draft bust, and yes, I will be talking about him in a future video. But Portland fans are low-key surprised that he's playing this way. Why are you surprised? We warned you about this. I know Jusuf Nurkic isn't technically as skilled as DeAndre Ayton, but I'm sorry, I've been so much happier with Jusuf Nurkic. For one, it actually seems like this guy gives a fuck. I know it's such a high standard to have. While statistically Nurkic isn't having his best scoring season or even rebounding season, he's playing an important role when it comes to the offense. A lot of the offense is centered around him, and also, I can't lie, his rebounding has been amazing to see versus what DeAndre Ayton has done. Also, his defense, I know that's something a lot of people talked about. He hasn't been the worst defensive anchor compared to what people were saying. Like, I know people were saying that the Suns were going to be like a bottom 5 defense. Technically, they're right in the middle, which obviously I would like to be top 10, but hey, we're doing, I guess, okay on defense, which is better than what I thought. I mean, I was one of the people that said they're either going to be like top 10 or bottom 10. There was no in between, and shit, I guess we are literally in between, so yay for improvement. But even after all of this, despite the Suns being on a 7-game win streak, is this enough to make me say and even be confident in this team going forward? Well, for one, as the title is going to suggest, it seems like they figured it out. It seems like they have the chemistry. It seems like they know what they have to do to succeed. Currently in the Western Conference, they are the 5th seed, and this is at the time recording this video. To give you context where they stand from possibly being like the #1 seed, they are 3 games back away from the Clippers, who are the 4th seed. But after that, between 1 and 3, it's this big circle of teams just kind of fighting for the 1, 2, and 3 seed. Currently, the Thunder hold the #1 seed, but the Timberwolves have the same record. I think it's just due to like probably some conference play or something like that. The Nuggets, they're only a half game back. So yeah, the gap between these seeds are kind of small. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is the Suns trying to be a top seed in the Western Conference is not so far-fetched anymore. So yeah, if somehow the Suns make a trade before the trade deadline, it better be for like a point guard. They don't really need to get anything else. Actually, no, maybe like an athletic wing, but that's about it. But truth be told, I'm pretty happy with the way the team is playing. I'm happy with the chemistry. I'm happy overall with the environment that the Suns are in. This is a hell lot better than what the past month or two has been. But even after all of this, the Suns still do have a lot of work before people start considering them a good team.